Hey, I'm Phil Heimlich. I'm a conservative Republican. I lean libertarian. I'm also a follower of Christ. This podcast is called The Radical Middle. Recently, you may have heard President Trump said something that I think it's very important. We all need to listen to it. What he said was, quote, "He who saves his country violates no law." That's actually a quote from Napoleon. But the point is that if the president decides that he's doing something that is saving the country, it's automatically legal. It can't be overturned. Unfortunately, this goes against a long tradition in this country that dates back to 1801. And in this case, Congress had passed a law, but the Supreme Court of the United States held that the law was unconstitutional and therefore they had the right to overturn it. Now, this is so important because since then, every president, every governor, every senator, I'd say almost every citizen understands that when the court rules, we have to obey. But what President Trump, I think, understands is that the courts don't have any enforcement mechanism. They don't have an army. And that means that if the president decides that the courts have no right to oversee any foreign policy decision. So, for example, if he wants to send migrants to El Salvador without giving them a hearing, the courts, he's saying, have no right to get involved. But that is simply not what the Constitution says and what that long line I told you of cases say. What they say is no matter what the decision, foreign policy, domestic policy, whatever, the courts have a right to decide if the law is or the order is constitutional or not. And if we allow the president to decide which court decisions he's going to follow and which ones he's not going to follow, then we don't have a president anymore. We have a king. I'm Phil Heimlich, and this is the Radical Middle.